Every season, players you might recognize simply just fade out of the league. Just this year alone, the former first overall pick Markelle Fultz is still unsigned with training camp underway and the season less than a month away, and it's really looking like he's on his way out of the league. Looking at the Toronto Raptors roster, two Raptors simply might fade out of the league next season unless they step it up now. With the 9th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings selected Davion Mitchell out of Baylor University. During his rookie campaign, Mitchell looked pretty solid and promising, averaging 11 points per game while playing about 28 minutes a night. However, with the Kings looking to take a step to being more competitive in his sophomore season, Mitchell saw his playing time drop significantly, down to 18 minutes a night. His role was reduced even further last season, with Mitchell averaging a career low in both minutes and points. This made Mitchell a very easy trade target for the Raptors and for the Kings, who were looking to get off his salary, making moves in the offseason. Now entering the final year of his contract, Mitchell could be watching the league from the stands unless he steps it up now. The biggest things holding Mitchell back are his lack of size and his outside shot. At just 6 feet, Mitchell is too small to play a shooting guard role, and he doesn't have the scoring, playmaking, or shooting abilities to be a lead guard in the league. However, with Toronto, he will get the chance to prove himself in that role. It is important to note that his 3-ball has improved over his career, but he's still a low-volume, sub-30% shooter from deep. The combination of his lack of size and shooting ability is challenging to fit into any lineup. It is important to note that Mitchell did shoot the ball well to end the 2023-24 season, connecting on over 41% of his outside shots, while attempting about 3 a night. However, a 28-game sample size isn't the largest, and he's still only shooting on very low volume for a guard. 3 a night just isn't good enough for the position he has to play. Next season, Mitchell has to show he can be a serviceable offensive player, or he might be out of the league by 2025. He's a good enough defender to be on the court, but when you're a 0 on offense, especially at the guard position, no amount of defense will ever make up for that. Just look at a guy like Ben Simmons or Matisse Thybulle, both excellent defenders, old league defenders. Because they're such a non-threat offensively, they don't play big minutes. And Mitchell is smaller than those guys and not as good defensively. The next Raptor at risk of being out of the league next season and ending his short career is Ochai Agbaji. Agbaji has been in the league for just 2 seasons and has already been traded that many times. Initially drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers, Agbaji was then traded to the Utah Jazz alongside Lauri Markkanen and Colin Sexton in draft capital before his rookie season. In Utah, he didn't see the court much over the first half of his rookie campaign, not getting any consistent run till after New Year's. Following New Year's, Agbaji shot the ball pretty well from deep, connecting on 37% of his threes on about 5 attempts per game. Despite his solid play to end his rookie campaign, Agbaji couldn't fully establish himself on the tanking Jazz for the coming season. And after a pretty underwhelming start to his sophomore season, Agbaji was traded to Toronto alongside Kelly Olynyk. Agbaji got a complete fresh start with the Raptors and ample runway to take off. Unfortunately, he really stalled out during his short stint with the Raptors, shooting 21% from 3 and 39% from the field, both of which are career lows. After a terrible end to the season, the organization tried to build some momentum for Agbaji heading into the new season, letting him lace them up in Vegas. This seems to have backfired, with Agbaji looking absolutely dreadful at Summer League. Despite being a third-year player, his offensive game wasn't able to translate, he wasn't able to control the ball on either side of the court, and overall just looked bad compared to rookies and guys who aren't even signed in the NBA. Agbaji, like Mitchell, hasn't shot the ball well from deep, shooting just 32% for his career. And once again, like Mitchell, Agbaji's calling card is his defense, but it's not enough to make up for his putrid offensive game. Unless he can step it up and find a 3-point shot next season, I really don't see Agbaji lasting in the league much longer. Like I said before, defensive specialists who aren't offensive threats at all just don't have a place in the league anymore, unless you're like that top 1% of defenders, and Agbaji isn't. He's not the biggest, he doesn't have a crazy wingspan, and while he shows flashes, he's just not consistent enough on that end to make up for how terrible he is offensively. I like both of these guys. I think they have a place on the team next season, and I think they have a place in the league. They just have to step up their offensive games and prove that they actually belong.